in the early game from DC. Hard lane pressure.
But I feel like Fnatic can really deal with it. They have so many good in and out spells.
They did it before against MVP. Will they do it again, gentlemen?
Nope, DC is gonna take this game, Dakota.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go Fnatic.
I think Fnatic or DC can take it.
Black, you son of a gun. Let's go ahead and send things out to our casters right now. It's none other than Capitalist and Blitz.
The final match to determine which team will be heading to the final day. Will it be Digital Chaos or will it be Fnatic? These two teams sharing many similarities, led by old blood from the Dota 1 and early Dota 2 days in Misery, Resolution, Ohio, and Mushi, of course, leading new blood, fresh Dota 2 players trying to cut their claw through the Dota 2 competitive scene. This is going to be one hell of a match. Blitz, Fnatic, and DC. We have a draft that features a few surprises. The Ursa for the Digital Chaos, and Fnatic actually picking up a Legion Commander quite early into their draft.
Yeah, this is probably the surprise pick for me. I'd imagine it's just because you can dispel the starter's amp as well as you can lock down any of these two supports. But at the same time, it does feel maybe just a little bit too greedy and not entirely sure what the direction is here. Just because it is going to be hard for them to secure the farm for this Legion. He's largely just going to have the jungle, might even contest a little bit, but with the Slark and Keeper of the Light Lane up here, I highly doubt that he lasts for very long.
Looks like we are going to be having Mushi's going to be playing the Mirana here in this match. Mid one is going to be on our Phantom Lancer. It's looking like we are going to be having a safe lane Phantom Lancer though, with DJ on the Shadow Shaman. He had one hell of a performance earlier on this very hero. Ohio obviously on that Legion Commander up the top lane, as you said. That matchup, the Slark and the Keeper of the Light, it's going to be a dangerous one for him to try and contest. May just have to fall out to the jungle rather early. Meanwhile, Digital Chaos are going to be running a support Slardar here with Misery. On that one, he's going to be coupled up with Moo most likely a lot of the times, trying to use that classic double melee and double ion shell. That abusive strategy that punishes heroes in the laning phase. Resolution barely making it open to the cliff.
That was scary. It looked like for a second he was going to bug his way down, but Fnatic not going to be able to get anything, and they would have had to hit another torrent anyways. Resolution most likely would have been okay.
Unable to snag that boundary rune away from the Legion Commander. Weehaw going to be playing the Ursa in the mid matchup against Mushi. How would you say this matchup fares for Ursa?
I think Ursa does okay. You can just keep drawing creep aggro, and the fact that you have a 4-man shield allows you to take a lot of these weak Mirana hits. She's only got 55 days, so when it comes to trading last hits, we should be somewhat okay. At the same time, Mushi has kill potential, whereas we almost doesn't, and that's going to determine a lot of the aggression in this lane, and you already see it as Mushi's just getting into a right-click fight.
Mid one, he has a stout shield on him in this bottom lane Phantom Lancer, and he's going to have the last hit without a Quelling Blade underneath his tier 1 towers. The constant Ion Shell push is going to come out from Digital Chaos, coupled with the occasional hard camp pull. Misery will try and protect the pull as best as possible, ready to go with the Slithering Crush. The defense hit bouncy, won't be able to grab that big creep though. Mid one snatches it up with a Spirit Lance, but they're chased away once the Ion Shell creeps push forward.
Yeah, I think this is a game that the Phantom Lancer can be incredibly successful. If you look at the rest of DC's heroes, they don't have the best way to clear him out. The most that they can do is, if they get a good early mid-game start, maybe they can just roll over him, but when it comes to the absolute late game, I think Fnatic are in pretty decent shape. But this bottom lane move, getting almost every single last hit already.
Misery buying him quite a lot of space. The Shadow Shaman, one of the big weaknesses of that support hero, not very good against 2v2 scenarios. Much prefers the solo offlaner, where it's able to truly abuse that Shackles. As it stands, it looks like the lanes are going quite well for Digital Chaos, including the top one, where Resolution now jumps on Ohio, trying to get some extra damage in with the goal for a bit of auto blocking. Ohio, though, as soon as he pops that press of the attack, they know he has more than enough regen to be able to survive the game attack.
Yeah, as a result of this dueling up here, 3-4-3 coming up, Resolution just hasn't had the best time CSing. And Soxa can't really do anything as the Keeper of the Light. They were anticipating a 2v1 lane, which they probably would have been able to win, but Resolution can't really trade right clicks very efficiently with Ohio. He needs to help with the support, but at the same time, 3-4-3 already has a couple of that Tidebringer.
double damage. He's easily able to keep the Slark zoned out and should be able to secure a lot of CS for Ohio. Really important that this Legion commander gets off to a great start.
Yeah, and in this mid lane, Mushi doing fine, but like we talked about this Ursa, even though he is the melee hero, will do perfectly okay in this lane because he can just keep drawing it back.
There it is. Bottom kill. Bottom lane takes up the Phantom Lance with a combination of Misery and Moo. The Ion Shell taking the first blood against Fnatic.
Really well done. Did not expect there to be a kill in that lane, but the support Slardar, something a little bit greedy, doesn't really have a whole lot going for him. He needs a lot of levels and a decent amount of farm to be useful, but in this dual lane scenario, able to just run this melee core down.
20-0 so far on Mushi. Dropping a bit low there as a spam coming out from Weehaw with that constant Earth Shock. He's trying to put it to use as he's got the ball top. Anyway, Ohio dropping lower and lower. The Torrent's not able to latch fully, and Resolution will be able to get the extra damage on Ohio chasing him away. This is buying Resolution a fresh start when it comes to CS after he was pressured so heavily in the first level.
Yeah, and Ohio just gonna suicide. Not a whole bunch. He just bought out completely. My side is gonna save him some time.
Nice pick up there for Misery. Little enough though. Get to see if he considers going back to base with that one. Nope, it's going to be a passed off healing Sal from Moo. They're going to try and go for the kill here on mid one. Already throwing down the Ion Shell. He's going to wrap all the way around. In fact, he's probably looking for the Shadow Shaman right now. They've got the vision down to be able to see the Shadow Shaman if he comes up this area.
This would be a free kill, but Misery guesses wrong. Gonna go left.
And they see him now. Maybe they can still sandwich him. He pops the sprint. He's going to come in from behind, and it's up to Moo to try and cut off DJ on the right-hand side.
DJ, very scary situation here. He's going to get sandwiched.
Immediately stunned up. Moo going to be there with the Ion Shell damage. DJ left with nothing to do. He throws out the shackles to try and delay the damage from one of them, but ultimately the other one will help get the kill.
Very well done by this bottom lane as Moo picks up the second kill of the game. Already has the Soul Ring and the infused raindrops. It's going to be incredibly difficult for Fnatic to continue to get aggressive in this lane. So they're just going to have to passively sit back. This is the downside of having that Shadow Shaman in your lane.
At one point in time, we've got an Ursa mid for Digital Chaos. Anytime you have an Ursa, particularly on the Dire side, you're going to look to abuse Roshan. But at what point can you really do that? Because Fnatic, I feel like they've got a pretty decent lineup at contesting.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is going to come down to how early Wii wants to signal his team to go for the Roche. And it's probably going to be dependent on whether or not they can put some pressure on this top lane, rotate some heroes over. Early on in the game, as soon as they just devote two support heroes to this bottom lane, it's going to be hard for anything to be really taken by DC, but they're satisfied so far. Laning phase has gone incredibly stable for them, is the best way to put it.
We've talked about Digital Chaos and their laning phase in the past. They seem to have shored up that previous weakness of their bottom lane. 3-4-3. He's going to be hunted down here. Weehaw, he's got the dirt. He's got the Earthshock. Unable to get it off though. DJ holds him in place with the shackles. And now here comes mid-one out of mana. He's completely out of mana. Has to pop the mango in order to doppelgang out, but DJ will be the feed instead. Weehaw looks for going to keep going for his close distance with 3-4-3. Slardar meanwhile actually kills the lead commander at top lane, but upon them they still pursue. 3-4-3 deep in early misses. The Earthshock not quite hitting the mark there. Meanwhile, top lane to get the second kill. Mushi falls as well. Digital Chaos coming out on top in both engagements, pressuring bottom and top lane. But maybe now they're going to be hot now. TJ comes in, tries to get the shackles on the move. Unable to close that gap though.
That is really surprising that they were able to kill Mushi up at top. There are just so many kills going around the map. DC taking this early lead. And it's very rare that you see that happen when you commit two of your core heroes at bottom and they still manage to pick up kills independent of you. DC just setting a blistering pace so far.
This is so dangerous when Digital Chaos has what I would say is a somewhat greedy core lineup. They've got three cores that all need a decent amount of farm, the Slark, the Ursa, as well as the Darkseer. They need to be able to create a lot of space for these heroes, take alternate times of being able to gank with one of the cores while other two farm up, and obviously be able to create space for Roshan as well. And a successful laning phase may allow them to do that more naturally than previously thought.
Yeah, and this Legion Commander, Doing very well for himself. Already level 5, 32 CS on him. Barely behind the Slark. Has picked up a decent amount of farm and levels. Legion really heavily relying on this farm just so he can get a decent timing on his items. If you go way too late for a Blink Dagger, you might just have to transition into that Blade Mail, but Ohio's still looking somewhat okay. And he's just going to stat up. Because now DC, they should try to get control of this bottom jungle area so that they can secure the next Roshan for themselves. That would be so huge for them in getting aggressive on this Phantom Lancer in the early game.
Now, do you mean they actually need to bring more heroes than just Misery and Moose, who are currently controlling the bottom lane pretty well? Do you think you need that extra rotation from perhaps the Slark or maybe even the Keeper of the Light? Not the greatest ganking hero in the world, but can provide that extra presence to dominate the bottom half of the map.
I think the best thing to happen right now is if DC could get a game with maybe even Resolution going up at the bottom.
Okay.
And then getting aggressive and trying to force them out of this bottom lane, force a core up the top, then immediately go for something like the Roshan. But at bottom,
X marks the spot, gonna be leading into the north here. Move gonna be caught quite easily, but the Ursa is now here, and he's gonna try and get vengeance. DJ turns around, manages to get the Hex just in time, but the Ursa slows down DJ. His ally leads behind, they know there's reinforcements coming. Misery hits the nice slithering crunch, trying to rank hero. Takes it to the Greek wave in time to block it off, and now even Weehaw being hit by the torrent. This could be the here comes the duel that Fnatic desperately needs with the Earth Shock. It keeps Ohio at bay, unable to get that duel. They can still land this one. Weehaw turns right up against the duel. Weehaw, he knows the torrent will come again. He must be trying to duel. Ohio survives. Winner gets the duel damage. Will still fall to Misery as he comes in with a slithering crush. But the fight looks nasty as Fnatic dove in deep for that one, but they may still lose an extra hero. Mid-1 being chased up. Mushi blocking it out with his illusions. Now he's going to be the one amped up. Saksa hoping to be able to get a mana leak here. Be able to keep Mushi down, but it leads just ahead of it.
unable
Radiant's
to find the
top
angle
tower
as
is under
DC. They
attack.
did commit the buyback from Misery.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Weren't able to save too much, but now they bring a lot of heroes down here. This is exactly what we wanted to see. And if they can control this space of the map, already getting a ward down here, a Roshan will be simple for them.
Resolution. He got a decent
Radiant's
amount of damage on that
bottom
tower.
is
He's
under
even pulling
attack.
for himself just to get that extra bit of farm. At this point, he will probably have a decent progression into that 15-18 minute marker where we see the
Radiant's
first big
bottom
item pickup.
tower is under
Do you think
attack.
that's going to be Blink
Dire's
Dagger or is
middle
it going to be a
tower is
Shadow
under
Blink this
attack.
game?
Not really sure. It looks like he's just building for pure tankiness right now.
Yeah. Now he's got treads. We'll be bringing in the Ring of Aquila in due time. Fnatic. They did show a hero up top lane, and Digital Chaos poke at Roshan, but map is still not revealing enough for them to feel comfortable being able to take that bounce.
I think Blink might be a little bit better for Resolution, but Shadowblade fits his playstyle a little bit more.
Yeah.
He likes to play that solo kind of playstyle where you can just pick off one of the supports. In the back, we've seen him do it very frequently in the past.
I mean, you've got a lot of heroes, I would say, on the side of Fnatic that a Blink Dagger Slark can really abuse the Shadow Shaman, being able to guarantee close that gap with that hero and abuse him with your combination of nukes and that ultimate, as well as obviously being able to latch onto that Mirana pretty
It's
easy.
going to be pretty well done as Mushi and 343, they're in perfect position to break the smoke on either side. They spot this coming.
They
Dire's
still
middle
find
tower
something.
is under
Spots
attack.
out 343, can't quite pursue though. Perfectly read by Fnatic.
Yeah. We talked about how Fnatic wanted to, or DC wanted to get control of this area. They immediately placed somebody in the Roshan pit just in case somebody comes by. They put the Kunkka on the top side of the hill, so there's absolutely no way that either side can get through. That'll prevent the Roshan from happening as well as Fnatic. They really want to play on this bottom half of the map. It's very rare that Radiant plays like
Dire's
this,
bottom tower is under
but
attack.
especially against an Ursa, it's quite necessary.
Can't afford to just be giving away control of your jungle or that tier 1 tower. Gotta keep that vision area around that Roshan pit. Not allow that Ursa to be able to snowball off of
343. Trying to scout out this rune with Mushi.
Dire's
You notice that
bottom
Mushi
tower
just
is
playing on this
under
bottom half
attack.
of the map once again.
Dire's structures
Sending
are
DJ
fortified.
to grab some amount of farm. He needs at least minimum game boost to be even a hero in this game, otherwise he just drops
Dire's
the ward and
bottom
runs.
tower is under
I
attack.
feel like this build by Ohio so far, forgoing the Blink Dagger, looks like he's going to be picking up not just the phase, but also the armlet here.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. Turning him into a second core on top of the for now the Mirana, just because the Phantom Lancer isn't doing so hot.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty important for them.
It means they're going to have a pretty big power spike between the Mirana and the Legion Commander around that 75 marker. Really caught here, but it looks like an arrow led into the duel. 20 damage already for Ohio. Coming back, like he's going to pay for it with his life, perhaps. But both going to come in, not quite striking Digital Chaos. They are pursuing out, but looks like the expression spot is going to hold them in place. Or that arrow also going to be able to fall that one out. The Resolution lands the count on 3-4-3, keeping them in place. They still hold the Moonlight Shadow for a second, but now with the base, they will fall. 1-for-1 straight out there. Digital Chaos. They swarm the bottom lane. They've lost mid thanks to the Shadow Shot board, and top lane is being given away to the Phantom Lancer as well. If they had more heroes there, that bottom lane engagement, maybe DC could have finally gone for that Roshan. It's just not the same with Mushi. Maybe he's the pickoff. Miss crush there by Mil. They can still get Mushi though. They're going to have to dive in behind the tier 1 tower for it. They're afraid of the TP rotations as they should be. Fnatic already committing 3 TPs in. DJ pursuing out. They're also going to be able to have the Kunkka here. Not going to be close enough for an X marks the spot catch just yet.
And this is the downside right now of DC's lineup. Although their laning phase was very good, this is what happens when you have a support Slardar. He eventually is going to need to grab the lane. He's had some really good rune luck in grabbing so many of those Hate runes, but you can't actively rely on those. And so for DC to set up a fight, you have to bring Resolution down. You have to get him a Shadow Blade just so he can open up fights and force Fnatic into a position where they can't run away. So far, Fnatic are just playing the hit and run game, farm around with all their heroes, and it's working out for them.
Fnatic have done a really good job, not just controlling that bottom lane, but still not giving up that top lane tower so early. It's only sitting at half HP done. Oftentimes, when a Slark is left alone in his lane, he's able to take that tower out within the first 15 minutes of the game. Not the case here.
The only downside right now that I can see from the Fnatic lineup is they're kind of grouped up together at all times because they're so focused on this Roshan that they can't really take it themselves unless they have the Shadow Trap force. It's not easy for them to sneak it, especially against DC's lineup. You never want to fight a Darkseer around that Roshan pit. Same thing goes with the Keeper of the Light. They don't really have a lot of physical damage on top of the wards to take it very quickly.
Despite being grouped up though, Fnatic have not dropped too much of a gold lead to Digital Chaos. We'll see a little bit more of a lead though in that experience graph, as all that grouping up obviously harming Fnatic's growth in levels.
I think right now DC should start to try to get aggressive. Resolution has a Shadow Blade, Blink Dagger's picked up on the Ursa. The next round of items will take way too long for them to get started. I think this is around the time you want to set up for a smoke and...
Oh no, Ohio! He actually completed TP. No! Just in time! Misery catches them. Meanwhile, back in line, they're able to get the shackles onto Zaxa. No contest there. Fnatic will get the pick off on the support, but Digital Chaos did manage to pick up a bigger kill in Ohio. But can they stop this bottom lane push? It looks like Fnatic, with 4 heroes here, are going to try and contest the tier 1 at bottom lane.
Yeah, they even have a sentry down 3-4-3 in the perfect position to look for the counter initiation as Resolution's gonna walk in unawares.
Oh, he already gets next up, but he's still Shadow Blade will be able to get through those wards. Now the Jackal, but here comes the ball. He's actually gonna be able to take up Fnatic a bit, which is good because Digital Chaos, they're on the precipice of swarming forward, but I think they realize it's good enough just to be able to defend this tower. Serpent Ward will not without anybody dying, and I think almost more importantly, they're buying Misery space for him to be able to pick up his Blink Dagger. You talked about how important his timing is for DC to get aggressive with that Shadow Blade. Well, now they're going to hit another key timing with Misery's Blink.
Yeah, that's going to come online a lot faster than I thought it would. Is that bottom engagement is just with spells on either side. Fnatic and DC both not really willing to engage, especially since Resolution wasn't certain where that ward was. Fnatic was able to capitalize off of the great play of that Shadow Shaman.
Mushi has been quite close to his Aghanim Scepter for quite some time. That obviously is a big boost in farming speed, so he really needs to take a moment, finish that one up. Thankfully, he's got the Kunkka to make sure that Mushi is always in play.
Yes,
TP's
X
back,
marks the
builds up his
spot.
bottle, immediately returns to jungling with Starstorm.
Radiant's
Misery's
top
picked up his
tower
blink.
is under attack.
We talked about how when DC gets these first round of items, they want to try to get aggressive. They've got the mech on the Darkseer as well. There shouldn't be a whole lot that they're waiting for anymore, and We talked about controlling the bottom lane. This is going to be the key for DC so that they can get this early Roshan. They're going to start making their move forward. I'd really like to see Fnatic camp the hero in that same exact location.
Yeah.
Even if you just tank it on maybe even the Kunkka, which
look at that.
he's exactly going to go for. And he's just willing to try and break the smoke, but this time around going to go all the way back. But somebody from Fnatic...
he checked out that Roshan pit, thinking maybe Digital Chaos may have smoked all the way in there.
No.
Careful though, they may lose mid one here. Weehaw is ready to go with the blink dagger on the zone. They're going to start jumping in there. He's initiated to be the stop on the defensive attack. Weehaw is ready to jump in. Nothing is going to go dirt shot. The duel goes down now. They're all blinded up. They're not getting any damage on the Boo in time. DJ managed to corral up Weehaw, but it's stopped by Misery's front. Now they jump on the DJ, hoping to be able to take out the support. It's quite easy. And the courier goes down. Courier going down, and they've got vision of all these heroes. Behind the tower, they're gonna die for more. Fnatic trapped behind the tier 1 tower. Ohio trying to dig his way out. Ohio holding his breath, praying that Digital Chaos do not fight him here, as he does not have a TP away. But it looks like
Radiant's
he
bottom
is going to
tower
be able
is
to make it
falling.
out alive. Digital Chaos, they have bigger things in their mind. They've taken that tier 1 tower, they've won the team fight, and now they're gonna take that road.
That was so well by done by DC, just how they set up that fight. Fnatic, they had to expect that engagement. They thought that DC would go for the Seek Roshan first, but there's no way against Fnatic lineup they're going to do that. They're going to go for the fight near that bottom area. That's exactly what we've been talking about this entire game before they go for this Roshan kill. And Fnatic slip up huge.
They certainly did. Thankfully, Mushi is still able to finish up his Aghanim Scepter, so we will see a continual growth in him for net worth and perhaps an extra powerhouse in these team fights.
Dire's
He's
top
able to
tower
last
is
long
under
enough to
attack.
be able to get off multiple Star Storms. Their 3-man smoke is going to run into Weehaw here. So Weehaw,
Dire's
oh
structures
no,
are
he just
fortified.
picked up an inventory and they aren't going to be able to get the dust onto him. And an arrow is going to be able to land. They're going to combo lock him. It is just King Fnatic are going to try and escape. A Resolute on their tail. Throws out the House Misery with the run. Stop 2 when they're trying to back. Oh my god! That was the beauty! Now Weehaw going to be able to jump right in the middle of all Fnatic, hits the nice third shot, and pursues whatever he can get his claws on. Fnatic, and a third going to fall as well. 3-4-3, loses his life, and Resolution will get the triple.
Lou has just been so
Radiant's
incredible
top tower
in this
is
main
under
stage.
attack.
His Timber Saw led them to countless victories, but that vacuum wall gonna secure them another fight in a row. One performance like him in PhD, they gathered
Radiant's
around,
top
they
tower
used that
is falling.
Aegis to perfect effectiveness. Fnatic completely caught off guard by that Slark as well.
And now they turn towards mid. Mid-Wan. He already popped the doppelganger. That's going to be easy for Misery.
All they have to do is guess now.
Real. Oh, he went for the Resolution. They may still catch the real Mid-Wan, though. Turns around, throws out the Phantom Blade. No, he can't escape here, so he tries to get the kill on Misery, but to no avail.
Radiant's middle
And
tower
Fnatic
is under attack.
just getting caught all around the map. They've been playing such clean Dota so far, but another one.
Overextending himself
Radiant's
this
middle
time
tower
around.
is under attack.
Trying to lead by example, but runs straight into the danger zone. Fnatic catching with Mushi's Starstorms. And Digital Chaos will now back up as 4, unable to get that tier 1 mid like they hoped.
My largest concern right now for Fnatic is Ohio's item progression. It has almost entirely stopped. I believe he has the armor off the courier, which is what was coming, but before that comes, 21 minutes in, doesn't have any follow-up items as a result of all these lost fights. He desperately needs a blink dagger so he can get his own initiation down.
Yeah, he started off nice. 2 dual kills. We had phase boots, a pretty good progression into that armlet. But now, with the armlet delay, thanks to the courier being down, he only just now picks it up. And we're going to need to see him put in some serious work with the blink dagger if he chooses that as his 3rd item.
I think he's going to need to. Otherwise, your only initiation from Fnatic, it was enough in the beginning of the game. This X marks the spot into Torn combination, but DC just overrun you. They have so many different ways to fight. There's
Radiant's
a mech on
bottom
their
tower
side,
is under
something
attack.
that Fnatic don't have. And now they're going to go
Radiant
for the bottom
structures
tower.
are fortified.
I think Fnatic are just going to look to trade. This can't give up another fight in a row.
this really hurts Ohio because you could see
Dire's
a very
top
clear
tower is
progression
under
of items
attack.
that would be very successful
Dire's
against this
top
team.
tower
He managed
has
to get
fallen.
a Blink and a Blade Man.
Radiant's
to
bottom
actually lock
tower
down
is under
heroes
attack.
like the Spark or the Ursa and be able to use this sort of anti-carry to be able to take out those big force
Radiant's
digital
bottom tower
chaos.
has
But
fallen.
the progression in items is just not there yet. But Fnatic did
Dire's
just pick up a
top
tier 1
tower
tower
is
and they're
under
pushing
attack.
for more. Going for this tier
Radiant's
2.
middle tower
See
is
if
under
they
attack.
can even out the tower trade-off here as Digital Chaos takes the bottom lane.
And they do have the roster wards available. He's just setting up in the top half of the map. DC, they don't have vision. There's no wards behind this area. Fnatic very well set up.
Radiant's
Ohio in a
bottom
very
tower
good position
is
to
under
try to pick
attack.
somebody on the move. Gonna get hit by that arrow. Where's the follow-up? They do have it, but
Finishing off Moo. Weihawk taking up with his ultimate, ready to go. But Moo did one. He's already slowing him down with the purge. They've taken out the Ursa. And Victor is going to be pulled right back. They are going to be able to get free here from Digital Chaos. Fnatic found exactly the fight they needed.
Dire's top tower
DC,
is under
they saw it coming too. They had the successful scan, but it was right in through Tank Data Arrow.
The worst part about that was not just the arrow, it was the angle at which they fought. DC, they have no vision around this area, whereas Fnatic with this ward, they were able to perfectly execute. And DC were just left scrambling, but
Now a lot of items coming in for Fnatic
Radiant's
that were
middle
desperately needed
tower is
before. The
under
Blink
attack.
Dagger now up for Mushi, able to play that
Radiant's
massive force
middle
game that
tower
heroes
has
like Phantom
fallen.
Lancer and Kunkka are so adept at being able to pull off. Speaking of Kunkka, he has drums as well now. Resolution gets spotted out just on the tail edge of that counter. Not going to be able to catch him out though.
he was going to be very hard for them to lock down in these fights. With that Lincoln Sphere, still hasn't died in this game. Resolution, maybe the MVP for so many of DC's games.
Yeah, this CIS prodigy, he's met nothing but disappointment in his annual pilgrimage to Seattle. He's recently forsaken his home region for a fresh start with new companions, and obviously, as you see here, on one of our final days of the International, Digital Chaos is still going strong. Resolution leading them. Blink Dagger now being picked up by the Shadow Shaman. That
But
is
top, Saksa,
lots.
his greed might just cost him his life. As Mushi's got the Blink Dagger, he's going to look to swing this around.
So close to the Aghanim Scepter too. He just needs another 100 gold. Saksa thinks, I can stick around.
8 gold away.
I will
Is
be
Mushi
able to
gonna go
pick up
for
the
it?
siege wagon. Mushi, he's going to pursue him out. He's
Oh,
going to get ahead of him. Will be able to get the Dark Saksa. He finds out the Aghanim Scepter though. It would have been so lovely if Fnatic could have stopped that item pickup and gotten a duel for Ohio. But you make the best of it.
Yeah, it's going to be perfectly okay for Saksa. Just because he now has his Axe. A lot of item progression still coming out on the side of DC, especially the supports. Just taking a look at the net worth of the supports, they are eclipsing Fnatic's too. But Fnatic, they still favor their team fight. They're going to start heading their way up here as they push in this mid wave, and DC look to dodge. They still
Radiant's
only
middle
have this
tower
one
is
ward
under
up
attack.
here. Might be a little bit reluctant to fight as they don't see the angle.
Yeah, if they could just
Dire's
trade off,
top
I think, the
tower
tier
is
2
under
mid.
attack.
Digital Chaos could be happy with that, but as I say that, they actually are going to go for the initiation. They do get the invite in front of mid one. Now, he's got the diffuse blade as well as Doppelganger, so we'll go get away from Weehawk, who's still pretty good. Ultimate in the trees. The core's going to be able to stop them. The back end stops the TP, though. Slithering Crush follow up. They don't have any vision. Eventually, mid one is going to be caught here as he Doppelgangers into the trees, but it breaks it. They jump outside of the map there for a moment with Resolution, but they catch him anyway. 2 down. Digital Chaos successfully defend their tier 2.
And Fnatic, a little bit frayed in their offenses. They weren't really willing to fight that. You saw the Phantom Lancer go for the TP immediately after the Mirana Moonlight Shadow, but the rest of the team was already gone. And Fnatic throw away 2 heroes, including a core, exactly what DC were looking for.
Arrow.
Spoil that
Meant
shot.
for the neutral camp. Misery does spot it out though, knows that Mushi is nearby. Looks like they was probably scouting out the Dire jungle, right? Saying maybe if I can get a pick off, Roshan will be up soon. As that potential spawn time starting in just another 10 seconds.
Yeah, right now, both teams' game plan is pretty clear. DC just want to engage around this Roshan pit the second time around. They really need it so that their Ursa can get aggressive in a game like this. There's so many different ways to control him. He opted not to go for the BKB, instead grabbing the Ags. he's going to need that Aegis to really utilize his build.
Yeah, this Aghanim's upgrade on the Enrage, that's going to be so great against heroes like the Shadow Shaman. And that lead commander duel as well. Slark, though, he is the one, Resolution's the one standing way above in network. He's sitting at 15,000, while all the other cores of both Fnatic and DEC are hovering around that 10k line.
Fnatic just continuing to farm on their Phantom Lancer. We talked about how this could potentially be the best late game hero in the game just because DC don't have that natural clear. Eventually, maybe the Slark can build into one if he goes for something like the Mjolnir, but for now, DC are content. He can kill the other heroes so easily that I don't think they feel too pressured about this. Yeah. It is daytime for just 4 more seconds. Might be the wrong time to go for any sort of aggressive maneuver.
The smoke up right as nighttime dawns. Now, Resolution, there is so much of a vision advantage to DC because daytime they've got this Aghanim's Keeper of Light. Clear vision through and through. They can throw down even a gem soon and be able to control the map really well. But even during nighttime, you've got this pesky Slark moving around the map with that nighttime vision.
Oh, Resolution. He's going to break the smoke. He sees DJ. They're immediately going to start flopping down the wards, sensing a fight.
They will be able to get that ward that was placed down by DC earlier. DC playing out a trap.
Gets the jump.
Neutral area. These teams all have Blink Dagger. 3-4-3 is going to be the first one in. Gets the X from the spot. It's going to get dug up. Unable to hold it behind time. He's dodging the ball. Now the vacuum in. The pushback with the blinding light as well through the wall. Misery. He'll pursue them out. Manage to get the force step into. Oh, I know the amplified damage. Ready to go. The air cuts in front. Stack way off. He trucks it off within range and he takes down Ohio.
And Misery tries to continue chasing. He barely misses that crush. But they do secure this bottom fight. And Fnatic just not willing to really engage properly here. They just got splintered so quickly.
They certainly did, and now they're going to clean up all the vision. Thanks to the Resolution. And all that's left is waiting for this Roshan. Unfortunately for Digital Chaos, though, a little bit of bad luck. Roshan is going to be a very late spawn time here, which means they can't immediately capitalize on
Radiant's
that great
middle tower is under
Still,
attack.
that bottom fight. Fnatic, they look like they wanted to full-on commit to it, but DC just found the better angle. They started to try to run away, ended up losing quite a bit of heroes there. As DC, this is their main goal, control up this bottom side of the jungle. Now with the Roshan spawn, Misery just going to amp it up and wait for his turn.
3,700 gold on Resolution. He is just stacking it up right now.
Maybe even goes for the Abyssal for himself. Could use the damage of DC. Walking through the first and uncontested, and everybody from Fnatic started to move up. They're going to dodge this completely, even if they know what's going on. I don't know what
To the dive.
At this point, Fnatic, they probably got to be thinking about a whole split push game, right? Just try and outmaneuver Digital Chaos, be able to get the right kind of Shadow Shaman wards that trades towers, and just push this game late enough where the Phantom Lancer can start getting into that late game mode.
I think the problem, though, is he's so far behind.
Yeah.
He needs a lot more net worth before he can become this monster, whereas Illusions actually survive and deal damage.
Yeah, he's going to need at least another 5 to 6k, if not 10,000. Marana pulled back by X-Marks the spot for Resolution. He's already kind of sniped that one out. Nah, can't quite get Mushi. The slithering crush just barely off the mark there.
DC most likely going to go for this top tier 2 tower as Fnatic. They should just continue to dodge. There's almost no way that they can get into a fight, especially against that Aegis. No reason not to just wait for that Marana Aghanim, or that BKB. As Fnatic clear out their own jungle, mid one probably needs at least 1 item minimum before he can really get into a fight with the rest of his quarters on DC. Even the supports are so sneaky and smart.
Certainly are. We've got Saksa, who can probably pick up maybe a Force Staff too. Ghost Scepter, not really that reliable against the Diffusal Blade of the Phantom Lancer, but he's going to need some sort of escape mechanism.
Yeah, DC.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Tower is
Dire's
lower
bottom
than
tower
the top.
is under attack.
No way that Fnatic can test this.
Radiant's
It's just going to go
middle
down.
tower
Now they're going to
has
connect
fallen.
to this top lane.
This is just the grab back for DC. They're seeing how many towers they can pick up
Dire's
as quick
bottom
as
tower
possible.
has fallen.
and try and limit the trading that Fnatic are going to be able to get with this
Dire's
5-man
bottom
push at bottom
tower
lane.
is
They've already got
under
the
attack.
tier 1 tower. Looks like DC will try and keep their tier 2 alive though. They don't want to give Fnatic too many opportunities. They're going to pop the Moonlight
Radiant's
Shadow as
top
they
tower
retreat.
is under attack.
And Resolution will be able to find mid-walk. TP out, they have a stun. Get a Radiant to force that forward. No, not in time.
Dire's
He
bottom
tried to
tower is
sprint,
under attack.
blink, and force staff his way through to be able to close that gap now. Mid-walk still has a man coming up in 5 seconds. They can actually turn on Weehaw. Rain popped out. So too does the BKB charge get used. He will be able to get away from Fnatic, but wasn't able to plant the bounty that he was really searching for in mid-walk.
Still, they're going to continue to control this jungle area. Fnatic are going to be forced into a ring around the rosy game as every single time DC meet them anywhere, they just have to take the opposite side of the map and continue to mirror what DC is doing. And so far, going relatively okay for them. They haven't really lost anybody in quite some time, but Fnatic, they're just losing real estate on the map. They've already lost control of their own jungle. This top side has been warded as well. The only safe place for them to farm really is whenever the creeps push in or this camp. But DC, the one unwarded spot that they can farm, this area right here, the Ancients of the big camp are also being controlled of. Yeah, they're gonna look at the positioning of Fnatic right now. They're holed up in their base.
Yeah, Digital Chaos know they can keep themselves really well spread. They'll eventually push down this top lane while still controlling both middle and bottom lane. This time around, when they go for a tier 2 tower at top, there isn't going to be that tower trade-off that Fnatic would essentially be taking the best of a bad scenario. But now, not even that option is going to be available.
And the bottom, Misery going to get ported in. They probably need one more hero to do this. And they're going to flash Resolution mid, maybe even TP him down here for the rest. That it's going to be that's going to be recalled. And this 3-man
Radiant's
squad
top tower is under attack.
still standing very strong. As Fnatic unable to get any wards out. They just have to do this next much to stop Mirana.
Digital Chaos hero swarming around the mid lane will start rotating up the top where Resolution finishes up the last creep wave
Radiant's
before
top
beating on
tower
that
is
tier
under
2.
attack.
Looks like the things go out. Fnatic obviously not going to defend outside their base or banking on a high ground defense here. And Digital Chaos will oblige them. They're going to go for the high ground push of their own. Alright, there you go. Pull back. Almost 3 men lost the exit, but the ball takes all CTD damage up entirely. Weehaw being peckered around by all these heroes. Mushi is trying to actually take away that Aegis without committing too much. Weehaw chased away and will not lose that Aegis just yet. He jumps in with experts responding, trying to catch him, but he's pulled back by 343 just in time.
Have to be careful there. DC, they can still kill him very quickly, but DC can just disengage. Not willing to fight without their BKBs onto the high ground. Maybe they just wait for the wards to run out. They also don't have that wall available, but DC, all 3 lanes pushed in. This might be one of their better opportunities. No Aegis on them.
So perhaps time for that smoke push out. They've got the gem too, so if they can win an engagement or even just get a kickoff, they can start taking away some aggressive vision from DC. Of course, we know there isn't actually that much vision up from Digital Chaos, just this bottom lane rune and one high up in their own jungle. That is oftentimes going to be the play, right? When you start pushing a team in and taking over their jungle, the natural counterplay by Fnatic would be then to push out top lane and try and play in the Dire jungle.
Yeah, exactly, but the problem for Fnatic right now is they're playing a guessing game. When they have no wards out on the map at all, it's hard. You're just assuming at this point. They can't really take the best risk. Ohio even trying to place that ward at the top. They had to use the X marks the spot to do that. Nobody from Fnatic right now feels very safe as DC have spread themselves very well. And they'll just continue to get ahead in passive gold. If you just look at the XP right now as a result of this, standing around 20k, 15k, almost 20k in net worth as well. DC in such a dominant position, and it's clear.
I mean, I was getting a little antsy watching Digital Chaos with that second Aegis and going, you know, okay, let's take that tier 2. Maybe we can go for a high ground push and use that Aegis. But DC are playing much more of a patient game, knowing that they've got full control of the map. They've got a Slark and Ursa and even some greedier support heroes in like the Keeper of the Light and Slardar who can make really good use of the space that they found. they can just control the map and farm and farm and farm until they have such an overwhelming advantage that Fnatic's chances of being able to defend that final high ground push are close to none.
Yeah, right now Fnatic, biggest thing is they don't have a smoke available to them, so they just have to wait before they take an engagement. DC playing around that back, and they are farming everything. The only thing Fnatic is getting right now is whenever the lane creeps push in or somebody from DC shows themselves, as 3 reveal themselves in this mid lane. Meanwhile, Resolution he continuously camps between this bottom lane and clearing out the entire Radiant jungle. But in 10 seconds even, I think that's when Fnatic are going to make their move. They know they're going to pass and hold it out.
They have to play it forward eventually. It's just wait and wait for Digital Chaos to go for that push, because it seems like DC are not going to give it to them until they have that gigantic advantage that we're talking about. So they're going to see instead if they can get a pick off here in this top lane. They know eventually someone's going to come up here, and it looks like Moon will be our victim. Now, he's tanky as all hell. He's got Guardian Greaves, a Pipe of Insight, and a Crimson Guard. So this is not going to be the easiest kill in the world for Fnatic to take. They don't actually jump out just yet.
Yeah, they're afraid right now. Everyone started to go missing on the map again. Misery's moving to grab a BKB on this support Slardar. Funny enough, this Keeper of the Light has even more farm than he does. And they're just playing patient right now. They want to absolutely secure this game. Nothing wrong with that, as Fnatic just continue to hide, waiting for any sort of opportunity that they can find. Fnatic, they really only get one shot at this, as this is their last smoke remaining. They might even be waiting for this Roshan to spawn. But DC, they're doing the exact same thing.
Fnatic, they have no idea if those 2 heroes top that they saw, Mu and Saksa, if they're alone, if they've got a team backed up, because there's just so little information available to them with only one ward out, and most of what that ward is seeing is just trees on the left-hand side. So Fnatic pop themselves out, look to be able to take a creep wave, not going to be countered by DC, who hope to be able to stop those TPs out.
Right now, DC just continuing to farm up everything. In a second here, we might even check the Roshan, see that it's up, grab the Aegis for himself. He's going to be with the cheese, as Fnatic talked about it. This one smoke is going to be so crucial. Where they choose to fight is going to be very important to them, as I think they should honestly just go for the smoke right now. Otherwise, you're going to be holed up in your base and going for a high ground defense. And with 3 BKBs and an Aegis cheese, I'm not sure Fnatic can hold that.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing this...
Okay, looks like they agree.
Yeah. Alright, here it goes.
But it's so late.
The Aegis and Cheese already being picked up. The Slark will be the one holding the Aegis this time around. We feeling comfortable with his BKB and Aghanim Scepter. There's just no chance that they can pop that before he gets off the Cheese. So he'll be taking that consumable instead of the Slark. 10 to 21, 40 minutes in. It's a 25,000 gold lead for Digital Chaos, 25,000 experience. It would be one hell of a comeback if Fnatic can actually take this game number 1, but DC are making it more and more impossible as the minutes go on. They're building an advantage. They've finally gotten an Aegis and Cheese, which I can only presume is going to be the deciding factor in their push high ground.
I think that there's still maybe some opportunities for them to do this. They brought back one of those teams last time, but they had much better heroes to do so. Tons of AoE, lots of team fight, really effective supports.
But they're going to wait for the full out Abyssal Blades. I know Resolution, he's got some of the items already on him. Vihan just completes his own Abyssal Blade.
No, I think they can just go for it right now.
Yeah, that would be the best decision. No reason to stretch this one out any further. They've already got a big enough lead. They can end this game. It all just comes down to the execution. They start making their attempts. Going up high ground with Resolution leading the way. Vihan sitting just behind him. Ready to go with the Blink Abyssal Blade combination that could ensure a quick kill. Night Shadow getting Fnatic in a position here to be able to poke at Digital Chaos. The arrow lands onto Resolution. It'll be forced down to safety and immediately healed up by Saksa and his Illuminate Blast.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
right
attack.
Now, Keeper of the Light, his position keeps very effective.
We just jumps in. All the cooked up Pirate in the background. They are going to be able to go on Saksa, but it doesn't seem to be enough illusion. That's the game plan. They tried to use X marks the spot and put
Radiant's
Mid-One on the front
bottom tower is
ground with a
under
Blink Dagger. See if he can illusion kill Saksa and then be brought back by the X marks the spot. See if they can get a pick and make this a 4 versus 5. The sad thing is, they have so many more opportunities to ensure a pick off, as you saw. That Kunk got immediately blown up by Weehaw.
One of the buybacks now used by them is they still have it on both their cores. Nobody else on the side of Fnatic is Resolution just going to run in. They still
Radiant
have to deal with this
structures
fully
are
UV
fortified.
Spark, who's got the Aegis available.
X leading on the Resolution. They have
Radiant's
so many
bottom
defense
tower is
mechanisms
fortified.
for it, though. Guardian Tree is behind now. Jump forward. Ohio can't be able to get the goal. He's actually going to go for Misery first here. Won't be able to take him out. They will finish him off. Still, though, Ohio goes down immediately after this duel. Down Saksa in the background. Mid-One off to get this play. It saves Saksa's life. And now we are hunt for more. Couldn't get the match on the DJ. He'll bounce back down to the
Dire's
low
top
ground.
tower is
As
under
the
attack.
Serpent Wards are keeping DC back, taking the racks just yet. But as they start healing up, it's Weehaw.
Radiant's bottom
He's got his
barracks are
blink
under
ready to go.
attack.
The Invisible Blade not up, it doesn't need it. He's still in control of the backside. The Venom Light is going to need to fly back up. Weehaw, he needs the mount, is already heading stuff, has the team ready to go. Forced out, and a first back here wall. There's the interception from Moo. Digital Chaos running over Fnatic Heroes inside the base. They become raiders. Killing Fnatic Heroes and now raiding the base. Will be able to take the range racks in due time. As it seems impossible for Fnatic to be able to stop them. They keep on blinking in with this Murata, going for the Starstorm and getting hit X marks the spot back.
Radiant's middle
But
tower
Digital
is
Chaos,
under
they
attack.
seem to have too many items. They are too tanky to be brought back by these simple nukes. And now they're going for a second lane. Tier 3 already dead. Where's that Prince will be able to get on Sark can't go. And the Illuminate undoing some of that damage. Ohio trying to jump himself forward. He needs a critical duel here for them to be able to blow up a hero and make this
Radiant's
4
middle
versus 4
barracks are
again.
under
The Shadow
attack.
Shaman is still down to 15
Radiant's middle
seconds, but
barracks has
they're
fallen.
not jumping just yet. And it looks like the whole second lane of Rax
Radiant's
will go
middle
down. And
has
Digital
fallen.
Chaos now retrieve Ohio. He sees his opportunity. He's going to burn 2 right in the last point here. He managed to survive every time. Barely once again. The phone comes in. Through the flesh, and Ohio will survive. Resolution jumps to the back lane. Realizes he's too far out. While on the side, our Phantom Lancer is dancing around. Weehaw's ever-present Ursa. He will be able to dance away this way, not locked down by the Abyssal Blade. Digital Chaos have fought back on Misery Slardor, though.
They're just going to go for it right now again, as Resolution still have that Aegis. They don't have the kills anymore, but the gold lead is so significant as now the Aegis is taken away, but 30k net worth, 30k XP. This looks all but impossible for Fnatic. They just don't have the damage anymore on any of their heroes. Resolution was 9 killable.
It is so hard to find the silver lining here for Fnatic. Their 2 lanes of racks down. They're nifting buybacks on their Shadow Shaman as well as their Phantom Lancer. That's really the important one. A gigantic network deficit. And items just keep on rolling in for Digital Chaos. But the one positive thing you can say is Misery. He doesn't have a buyback. And it looks like Fnatic will be able to buy themselves a bit more time. Digital Chaos here on the main stage. Very disciplined and very patient play, making sure they're not putting anything to risk. They're not going to go for the high ground defense as they no longer have that agents and cheese. They look to be biding their time, farming up a bit more, and perhaps waiting for rotation number 4.
Yeah, they can afford to just because Fnatic, again, they can't really leave their base. They wasted their 1 smoke opportunity. They've got to wait nearly 3 more minutes for the next one. They have to constantly push out these waves. Otherwise, these cars know that they're coming, and they'll just disengage and wait for the time to run out before the next creep wave comes in. So Fnatic in a position where they're playing wholly defensively, and they're just waiting for DC to make any moves, and just hoping beyond hope to hold the high ground.
A strategy that is based entirely on the enemy making a mistake. Digital Chaos, though, no cracks in their armor to be seen, at least not yet anyway. They are not tripping up whatsoever. They're not playing overly aggressively. They're not trying to throw this game away.
They want to be able to lock in an early lead in this series heading into the final day.
DC just continuing to farm out everything that they possibly can. Looks like they're making absolute sure that there's no doubt about it. In that Liquid game that we saw yesterday, Fnatic managed to pull off the impossible, but DC, that was the 20k lead for Liquid. This is going to be nearly a 40k lead for DC. They want to double that up.
Oh. Okay, pull back. We'll be able to keep at Mirana out of the hands of the Ursa. I keep on seeing Digital Chaos picking up more and more Lincolns. We now have one on Soxa's Keeper of the Light. That's how you know your supports are farmed, when even they are able to get that rather expensive utility item. We also managed to pick up just recently.
Yeah, and now we have a 40,000 net worth deficit in favor of DC. I don't think I've personally seen a comeback like that.
And we even have a Mjolnir on the Slark. He said, you know, if they can't bother deal with the Phantom Lander, DJ. Thought he could get some vision down.
Radiant's
He's going to be caught. Resolution's going to be able to get the courier
They are
as well.
losing everything now. They've got a full retreat.
On 3 Invis heroes. But he doesn't have the Sentry Ward, so we won't be able to catch them.
DC just picking out whatever they want. They can start making their way to this top tower if this Shadow Shaman doesn't have that buyback available. And here we go. Fnatic's gonna have to hold on to the tower.
Marks the spot and a little bit of poke once again. And it seems like a hit.
Looks it out of his inventory, trying to respond, be able to get the split of their punch. Looking for that they just like take her down. Who will eventually fall? Ohio retreats, but there's going to be big one left in the dust. Another crush. Misery finishes them off. DC, they use their BKB. They fall back on move. They're going to bring him in with Soxa. They pop 3-4-3 as well. 75 seconds down for the Phantom Lancer. 60 for the Kunkka. And Fnatic will be left with a 3v versus 5 as their last lane of ranks being beaten on. Fnatic, they never say die, but they finally will give up. Calling it GG, there was just no way back into this game. You said you've never seen a comeback like a 40,000 gold lead, and I'm sure Fnatic had a good idea of what was happening in that game, but they decided to push it to the very end. Never know what can happen here on the main stage, but Digital Chaos holds strong. They keep a nice tight grip on this game, not letting it slip out of their hands.
Very good performance from Digital Chaos as they just completely shut out Fnatic wherever they went. That bottom fight though is going to be the one I point to. If that doesn't happen, maybe Fnatic have a chance, but DC from that moment on, they just corralled them inside their base.